Hello everyone, welcome to the fifth week of course Embedded and RTOS. In this video, we will specially discuss about Linux kernel construction. So specially in this video, we'll talk about Linux kernel background. So learning outcome. After completing this session, student will be able to illustrate Linux kernel background. Linux kernel background. So you know who developed the Linux? Linux is developed by Linus Torvald in September 1991. He was a second year student of computer science at the University Helsinki, Finland. And the version is known as Linux version 0.0.1. Linux has matured into a full-featured operating system with various features like robustness, reliability, high-end features. All features reveal those of best commercial operating system. Now, after this Linux kernel, more than half of the internet servers on the web are powered by Linux server. So, this is the highest achievement of Linux. More than half of the internet servers. Now, two-thirds of the internet server are based on or are powered by Linux server. Linus Torvald announcement. What was his announcement? His announcement was he sent a mail that is in group comp.os Minix. Subject was what would you like to see most in Minix? So the mail was on 1991 August 25. He written one mail that is I am doing a free operating system just a hobby purpose. So Linux was just a hobby purpose and this has been brewing since April and he's starting to get ready. So this was his announcement. Now what are the Linux kernel key features? So it is portable and hardware support runs out on most of the architecture. Main is scalability means can run on supercomputer as well as tiny devices. That is 4 MB RAM is enough to run Linux kernel. Compliance to standard and interoperability. Exhaustive networking support. And the important feature is security. Its code is reviewed by many experts as far as security is concerned. Stability and reliability. Modularity means it can include only what a system needs at runtime. So these are the very key features, easy to program and can learn from as existing code. The Linux version. There are various Linux versions starting from 0.0.1. So we will see which one is the latest Linux version. There is numbering scheme. So the numbering scheme contains a major version number and a minor version number. So two numbering scheme. One is major version number, minor version number, and a sequence number. So odd number is for development a kernel and even is for production a kernel. So if Linux is having version number 2.4.x, so that means 2.4 is what even or odd, it is even. So it is production means stable kernel. And if it is Linux 2.5.x, it is experimental, that is development kernel. So tell me about Linux 2.6, it is even, so that will be production means it is stable kernel. So this is the kernel version and its numbering scheme. So the current Linux version is 5.7.6. So can you tell me, is it development or production? Sorry, it is development or production. So it is development kernel. It is experimental. Why? Because 7 is odd. No, Linux kernel architecture. So one hardware platform will be there. Then user application and GNU-C library. It's called as glibc. User application and GNU-C library, that is glibc, is what it is. Total user space and system call reference kernel and architecture development kernel. So this is called as kernel space, and the whole is Linux, GNU Linux. So this is what Linux kernel architecture. Let us look at the Linux kernel architecture one by one according to user space and kernel space. Architecture of Linux is divided into two main parts, that is user space and kernel space. User space. So all user program and application are executed in user space. So all user program means application file will be executed in the user space. User space cannot directly access the memory and hardware. It has to go from the kernel space. User space cannot directly access memory or hardware. It accesses the hardware through kernel space. User space or user application access the hardware through this kernel space. Processes or program which are running in user space only access some part of memory by system call. Due to full protection, crashes in user mode are recoverable. It is Linux and it will have full protection. So that's why crashes in user mode are easily recoverable. GNU-C library, that is glibc, provides the mechanism switching user space application to kernel space. Now let's move on to the kernel space, what it is. So all kernel program are executed in the kernel space. So this is your kernel space entire. So all kernel program are executed in kernel space. Kernel space access full part of memory and directly interact with the hardware. So you can observe this one. Kernel space directly interacting with the hardware, as well as it will have access to the full part of memory. It will include all the hard drive, RAM, all these things. It is divided in different blocks of modules which manages all operation like file management, memory management, process management. So this kernel space is divided into block, we will see in later. And this will manage all the operation in kernel space and application running in user space. Kernel space consists of system call interface. Kernel, that is core kernel part, it will have system call interface, core kernel part, and device module. System call interface is the intermediate layer between user space and kernel space. Each application which is run in user space can interact with kernel through system call interface. Let's say one example. For example, system call function on a file operation are open, write and read, etc. Kernel is independent from hardware. It is common for all hardware processors which are supported by Linux. You can run kernel on any processor like Atmega, Atmel, ARM, Intel. So you can run kernel on any processor. It acts as a resource manager in kernel space and perform process management, file management, memory management, interrupt handler, scheduling of process, etc. So it will perform all the tasks. It is powerful structure which handles all kinds of operations. So this is kernel space is what very powerful structure. Now this is what kernel architecture. This one is user space where user can write its program. Kernel program is written in the kernel space, and these are the hardware part. So kernel space include this is the system call interface. It will act as a bridge between kernel space and user space. Process management, memory management, file support, device control, networking. This all program in the kernel space. So up till now we have discussed the Linux kernel background, starting from who evolved this and the architecture. So let's move on to the next video.